Hi guys, welcome back again. It's Kate and MJ, and it's been amazing so far. You've been sharing, you've been subscribing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it has been close to half a month now, and we have received great love, great support. We are about 500 subscribers now, and having achieved that in 16 days, great appreciation. And I think one of the things that people are looking forward to know is to understand how we came up to get to Jaden's diagnosis, go through the denial, ask a lot of questions. Sometimes we did not even know where to start from. But I can say 4 years down the line, it has not been that scary as we thought. And I think getting from denial until, you get into terms with the boy's diagnosis, it has been a journey. But right now we can say it was worth it.
Yeah, it was good. It's been amazing. So guys, today we'll be sharing our acceptance story. So let me say, after like a year and a half of denial, stress, fears, panic, I was really worried about Jaden's future. Will he ever talk? Will he ever have a girlfriend? Will he ever move out? I was really worried about such things. But then, we embraced the diagnosis. And let me say, it's been amazing. We have received a lot of support. We've also supported each other. We've taken care of each other a lot, just to make sure our mental health is up there. Because with such kids, it can be mentally draining. But for us to be able to take care of them, we also have to be fit as well.
Yeah, and you are right. There are two things here. It is finding what is the best for the child. And two, it is also giving the support to your partner. Remember, this is very new to you. You don't know where to start from. And the truth is, I was really intimidated by Jaden's diagnosis. So the news really defeated me. I'm a strong person and I hold my emotions. But that one, for the child, it almost brought me down. Another thing is that I was an online dad. I was not physically present. We were in a long-distance marriage, and it made things very difficult.
How do you even support someone like that,
Yeah, you rely a lot on online materials. It was very, very difficult. You have a lot of questions. You wanted to hold your partner and hug them and tell them it is okay. But you see, you are very far away. You cannot hug the air. Yeah. So what you do, you have all these long calls, trying to discuss things, asking each other a lot of questions,
It's difficult because, on those calls, I didn't want to cry. Because I was like, if I cry, what about him? How is he handling it? So it was just after the call where I'd go somewhere and just cry.
I know, it was very difficult.
Come on the call, it's like, where am I? My strong face.
Yeah. So, and also remember, we also had a lot of million conclusions. My sweetheart here was wondering whether the boy will ever leave the house, go out and have a normal life, get girlfriend. For me, I was looking whether I'll have a normal conversation with my boy, like we could do reading together. We could discuss a lot of even silly theories outside there. Discuss a lot of things. And anyway, there were so many questions, no answers, a lot of stress in the first place. But you know what? We did go through a couple of steps. By the way, mostly when we realized that it is not really a disease, it is more of a difference in personality, we started to calm down and we started to objectively think about how we can support the boy as well as support ourselves. Because we are also going through something. And remember, we are in a long-distance marriage. We need to also keep, that was another thing we are trying to hold together.
You're trying to hold the marriage, you're trying to hold each other's emotions.
But I remember my wife then had a lot of support from Jaden's teachers, therapists, healthy professionals. How did you interact with them, and how was that for you?
Well, luckily, I had, the support was just amazing. Jaden's teachers, they really wanted to hear my views. But like the whole team, they just didn't attack me with, you have to do this, you have to do that. No. They were very patient. I had a health visitor, I had a psychologist, I had a community pediatrician, I had the speech and language team, I had also the school. In the school they have like the teaching assistants who would update me every day on what Jaden has been up to and stuff like that.
And I remember that time there was a lot of emotions going in. And remember, we had actually put in the love our love aside. It was not the most important thing
No,
then.
it was
And now here you are meeting a huge
I
team.
know.
They keep on asking you, where is daddy? Can we also meet the daddy? Did you feel intimidated with them, or by this time I know you had a lot of questions to ask?
It was difficult because I was like, how do I sit down and explain to these people? Then we were 3 years
Yeah.
long distance
Yeah.
marriage. How do you explain to them a long distance marriage for 3 years? Where do I even start?
It's difficult.
It's difficult. I just used to say, he's in Kenya working. Yeah, take it as you may.
I feel you.
It was just easier.
I don't encourage men actually to do long distance marriage.
Don't.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's continue. Yeah. So yeah, the team was massive, but amazing. Yeah, they were good.
So what kind of support did they give you?
Everyone had their job.
Okay.
So the health visitor, that woman was amazing. She was just more so checking Jaden's diet, weight, and all that stuff, because kids with special needs, mostly Jaden, had sensory issues. So his weight, how he's feeding, and all that stuff was really important. So she will come, weigh him.
Yeah.
Tell me about nutrition, tell me some things which I can get for him, vitamins and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the psychologist, of course, was doing the assessments and all that stuff, also supporting me as mom. That's huge news,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then we had the speech and language, helping Jaden with trying to talk. But then, hey, speech and language then wasn't the most important thing. It was first understanding who Jaden is, where he belongs.
Yeah.
That's what was important then. And then the community pediatrician was let me say, she was just keeping everyone in check,
Yeah.
Is Jaden being okay? What are you guys planning on Jaden's schooling and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Just making sure everything is okay, yeah.
That's great. And there is the thing about the culture. We are from the Kenyan origin.
Yeah.
And now you are surrounded by people in the English culture.
Yeah.
So did they have any understanding of the culture and how you may want to face things from a cultural point of view?
Yeah, so my health visitor, she was amazing because she understood like different cultures, they deal with things differently. So I remember when she came, she was like, how do you feel about it? How do your people feel about it?
Yeah.
And I was like, don't worry about them. Yeah.
Focus on the boy now.
Focus on the boy and us,
Yeah.
me. Then it was me and Justin, just us, And whatever other people feel about it, I don't care. All I care is I want to see this boy.
Did you feel you were in the safe hands when you met the team?
Oh yeah, it was like I don't even know what to call it. It was just these people listened. They don't judge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if I'd go there and rant the whole day, how I wasn't happy.
They were patient.
Yeah.
Calm.
And let me tell you, another amazing person was the teaching assistant at Jaden School. This lady went above and beyond that. She's the one who came and told me the lunches that Jaden loves. I didn't even know what type of
interesting.
food. Yeah, because this was the first year of Jaden in school, so I'm used to preparing, the normal Kenyan foods. Is rice, peas. British food is very different.
And I think that's an important part you have said here, because trying to accept autism, it is more understanding the patterns that this personality is embracing. The more you take the personality patterns of your child, the more you know how to help them.
Exactly. So I loved her because it was the little things. Jaden doesn't like this bag.
Yeah.
Jaden likes this. So she really helped me, plus what I knew at home.
Yeah.
So if we come together, everything was just flowing. And the one thing that they were all made aware was dad is not around.
Yeah.
So mom might be even, emotionally disturbed.
True.
So she might be depressed. So if she cries, it's fine. Sit there with her. You don't even have to talk about the child. So sometimes we even talk about giraffes.
Sometimes I don't know what is easier. Is it having an emotional breakdown when you are away from the subject of the emotion, or it is when you are near the subject of the emotion?
There is no easy option.
but I think for you it was very, very hard. But then I think you handled the whole situation very strongly, and I can't even think of anyone else who can handle it the way you did. I actually remember there was a time after you met the team and you came and you told me that we do not have time to feel sorry for ourselves.
No.
And for me, that was the most mind-shifting statement you ever said.
Yeah.
Because I actually remembered the young Jaden who we fell in love with. We actually loved this boy.
He was our first when we were young. I got Jaden when I was very low.
Yeah.
But then, so he was like the light,
Yeah.
So.
And for me, remembering that love that we had and embraced this boy since birth, it actually made me shift my mindset that whatever he is going through, it is actually like a tunnel he has to go through and come up to the other side when he is much brighter, more intelligent. And I think we are facing those things currently because the boy is becoming sharper by the day. So back to the team. I remember there was a time they introduced you to the groups.
Yeah, they did. So my psychologist, she understood I was alone and dealing with that situation just by yourself is depressing. So she was like, you know what? There are so many amazing teams of parents who are actually going through what you're going through. So if you want, I can show you how you can join and talk to. For some weird reason, mostly it was ladies, men. I'm watching you closely. It was men, but everyone was welcome to the team. Men, women. Doesn't matter who you are, as long as you have a child with special needs. And I went to the team, and it was amazing because I just felt I'm not alone. And when a mom is there talking about their child, you are like, Jaden does that too. And you get into conversations, encourage each other. So it was amazing, and you just feel like a sense of belonging. So it was really good. I joined like 3 groups, and it wasn't just about talking about our kids with special needs. It was more than that. We'd go like out for coffees, drinks, birthday parties, because when it comes to kids with special needs, it's so sad. Some parents don't invite these kids for birthday parties.
There is still a lot of stigma around the challenging behaviors of kids with autism.
So us, we just take it upon ourselves, do a birthday party. We don't care, if they scream, we just let them do their thing. Groups are amazing.
And I think from the groups you got a lot of solutions. And for me, what I pick from there is that embracing what you are going through as a parent with a child with autism, you are not alone.
No.
And you should not hide yourself thinking that the world will think about you otherwise. And for me, I think you moving out and going out with other groups, socializing with other parents, experiencing the same, I find that the experiences that they gave, and you picked a lot of things that we tried with Jaden, that was more of our day zero of the project Find Jaden.
Project Find Jaden.
And we actually said the project Finding Jaden was because the boy was of good behavior.
Very. I remember when he went, because when Jaden started, he went to mainstream. And let me tell you, the teaching assistant was just like, I have never seen such a good, respectable boy.
I remember there was a time they were even they were always acting shocked when they understand the boy has autism. But the boy is actually having like a gang of friends. He could actually lead them to do things.
They were saying Jaden is a cool kid.
But the problem here is the child is not talking.
He's not talking.
The child is not showing any awareness of whatever is going in class. When they are doing the phonics, the numbers, those things, they are not interesting. He had baby language, remember. So we are trying to find where is this talking, logic, understanding boy hiding from, and we had to find that. So we started to get, some of the goals. But what was your immediate goal?
Oh my God. For me, let me say, the groups were amazing. But then I felt it wasn't enough. I felt like there was more that can be done. So I started reading. Let me call it curiosity.
I like that. I like reading.
So I started reading online about autism. And it wasn't like just about autism. It was more of communication. Because Jaden, behavior-wise, he was good. So why is he not talking? So I took it upon myself. And I just started reading so that, I can get to understand him. Understand his emotions. Him. How I can just get through to him. So that was like my main goal, because by this time, remember, he's 4. He can't even say mama. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I remember I used to tell my speech and language, I used to tell her, I just want Jaden, because then he loved milk. I wish he could just tell me milk. I don't even care about mama anymore.
Yeah.
I wish he could just ask me for the milk. Then I'd be so happy.
Yeah, and for me,
Yeah.
when you talked about speech,
Yeah.
you wanted to go through, get into him.
Yeah.
I think that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Because the first thing that comes when you accept that your child has autism, it's actually now going through the barrier that the autism is presenting,
Yeah.
and talk to the child directly as the parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you get to him? Now, I know you read a lot of things.
Forget the reading.
Yeah.
So, let me say game changer. Game changer on the mission project Find Jaden.
Yeah.
The game changer was COVID came.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, it was during COVID time. And at this time, all these people, speech and language, community pediatricians, basically they had to go back to hospital because they said if you are in the healthcare team, doesn't matter what you do, and you can get your hands on and come back to the hospital and help us, during these tough times. So they all went back to hospital and they stopped seeing us. So I felt like, we just didn't matter anymore. It was just me and Jaden. And I have to deal with him.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what, I'll take matters to my own hands. So I stopped reading for curiosity.
Yeah.
And I started reading to understand this child in depth, So I bought books. I bought things online.
Yeah.
I signed up for courses. Mind you, I didn't have like an end goal. I was just doing it for my child. So I signed up for courses. I just kept reading, and there were like tips on how psychologists do to get through to the kids, to be able to talk to the kids.
Yeah.
So I started trying these things out on Jaden. Some things worked, some things didn't work, and whatever didn't work, I always knew there must be something that can work for him.
Yeah.
So I went back into reading. So most of the COVID time, I spent it reading. Now the funny thing is, during COVID time, schools were shut.
Yeah.
But then children with special educational needs could go in because they kind of understood how difficult it was for parents. So they could go in some days like Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
Because there were only few, like in Jaden's class 5.
Yeah.
So you see, there wasn't like a risk, but they had to do obviously the tests and everything. Now the funny thing
Makes
is
sense.
that
Yeah.
the school, when Jaden went back, because there was a break, then they came up with this thing, kids with special needs are being like left out, they're being dragged behind. When Jaden went back, school was like, whoa, he's a bit different.
The boy has improved a lot.
Yeah. He was starting to use the toilet, mind you, before he was being on himself. So imagine your child is the only child who has to carry spare clothes. So, but then, now he's back, he's not doing that. I know it sounds like nothing.
No,
but
it's a great milestone.
It was a big thing, yeah? And when it came to sitting down and his concentration, it was okay. So school was like, okay, you must be doing something right at home. How about we work together?
Yeah.
Because before it was a school suggesting things to me. How about we work together and we see how we can help him as a team, rather than the school always telling me, try this out, try that out.
You did the most important things.
Yeah.
And for any parent, I can say, remember when we said autism is new, even to the family. We have not encountered it before, even the whole lineage of where we come from.
No.
So the first thing is that do not be ignorant.
But let me tell you,
Yeah.
is it that we've not encountered it, or is it just we grew up in Kenya where when we were growing up, it wasn't really diagnosed as much,
Probably another topic.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is do not be ignorant.
Yeah.
Getting knowledge is very, very important.
Very important.
Go outside there, read what you can read.
Yeah.
But also remember, autism is a spectrum.
Yeah.
Even the materials that you read, not all of them
Not
are
everything
going to
work.
apply to your child.
Yeah.
So never forego the belief that you're actually the parent who knows your child.
Yeah, this is what I tell people, as much as the professionals are helping you,
Yeah.
that's good. but you as the parent make
Yeah.
it your job to know your child better. I find some parents always depend on, when I speak to some parents, they always tell me, you know, that some of them call them doctors, and they're like, the doctor said, the doctor said, the doctor said. What about you as mom?
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
You can never
Yeah,
delegate the position
you
of a
can't.
parent in a child.
Yeah.
This is someone you carried in
Yeah.
your womb for 9 months.
Yeah.
You actually have a bond, and you know, some of these things I actually think they are beyond the physical realm the way we see it. They
Yeah.
are very, very spiritual.
They are.
So if you look at it deeply, you'll actually know what is important for your child. And most of the times, I actually like the involvement that the specialist gives with the parent.
Yeah.
Most of the modern ones, they are going to ask you about the choices. What do
Exactly.
you
What do you
want?
want?
What do you think your child
Exactly.
likes? You
Yeah,
know?
like with Jaden, the thing which I'm saying mostly with my health visitor, it wasn't about her coming and telling me everything.
Yeah.
It was about, you as mom, what have you tried? And I tell her, with Jaden, because when Jaden started saying one word, what I will do, I will take something like an egg
Yeah.
and call it a potato.
Mm.
And this was to, because he used to get so angry, and this would stimulate him and call, like, say the right word,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, look at you and be like, egg.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see?
So the thing here is to know that the solutions you read or get from whatever specialist, they are relative. But you as a parent, you are going to actually fine tune them and tailor them to what your child wants.
Exactly. And this is why also I say, you can say, oh, this lady told me this, or this dad told me this, so I'll do it with my child. I've tried that. Sometimes nothing from even that list will work with your child. The spectrum is wide. Kids are different. Everything is just different, and how they respond to stimuli and all that thing, it's very different.
I like how you got the faith, the belief, the hope that me as a parent, I'm actually going to give tailored, customized solutions to what my boy wants.
Yeah, I felt like I will do it better.
And actually, you did it good. By the look of things, when I came around in the UK, and I know you had boarded with Jaden very well, such that he wouldn't let anyone dress him for the school.
Yeah.
But when I stood at a distance and I looked at how you are doing things, the way you understand what he wants, even before he says he wants, that was very, very cool, Yeah. And then I remembered when you showed me that Jaden actually likes hugs. So whenever he is trying to have, like, meltdowns, tantrums, always give him very tight hugs. It gives him assurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was really difficult for you because we come in a culture where kids are supposed to, respect the elders and do as the elders, do.
Yeah.
And I told you, MJ, you know what? Here we have to do reverse psychology. We have to respect what he wants and
I had to break down some of the cultural beliefs, and I can't remember my father ever hugging me.
Oh, but dear. You couldn't go there now.
Yeah, but I used to hug with my mom. But now here I had to do it with my boy because that is what he likes. He also liked playing games, and I had to learn a couple of games that he loved.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think, for the both parents becoming part of his world, and he feels also that he belongs.
Yeah.
He is not alone with whatever he is going through.
Yeah, so parents, I always say, remember, listen to them. I know there's a lot of pride when it comes to listening with kids, and people assume they don't know.
Yeah, people will assume. You remember when we went to the malls and Jaden will have rapid meltdowns. And these are meltdowns, I'm telling you, when people are walking the streets, they'll actually stand and give this boy a standing ovation.
Yeah.
They were really meltdowns,
like, what's happening?
And then you said, you know what? Don't be paranoid.
Don't.
It is normal for people to stare at these meltdowns. There is no shame. No. Others will actually think that the child is indisciplined and he requires to be, disciplined. But all that is pointless. A child with autism, they know how they perceive their world, and their world actually is not like our world, and you cannot blame a parent for whatever they are doing.
No, you can't.
And for me, that was another mind-shifting thing, And from that moment on, whenever Jaden was having tantrums, we actually started having joy with the tantrums, and we saw them as something that demanded our love.
Yeah.
And one of the most important thing is that outside there, in the malls, in the walking spaces, basically external world outside the home,
Yeah.
we saw them as comedy. In fact, one thing that worked very well for us, Jaden has this habit that when he wanted to start a tantrum, he would start saying, ah. So every time we have seen something triggering him and he is about to go into tantrums, we all started, ah, and he actually started laughing.
No.
And eventually, increasingly, after a couple of days, he stopped even those tantrums because he knew we are going to laugh,
Yeah.
So increasingly, the meltdown stopped, and that worked.
Yeah, that really worked. Yeah. And I think I can say, I think we've done amazing, and I haven't seen any meltdowns.
Yeah, he
They
hasn't.
are, but they're not like intense or crazy as they were.
I think those are just the normal, the kids getting upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, let me say, I think we both agreed, autism won't take away our joy.
Nah.
And I think, we have really worked well together.
Yeah.
To find humor in it.
Yeah.
Because, we can't cry about it.
We shall never cry.
So we just do it as a family and just laugh about it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And the good thing here is that doing it as a family, for me, when faced with challenges in the homestead, I think love comes first.
Yeah.
And where there is love, the solutions aren't far away.
No.
So the joint support that you and I gave, it produced a lot of hope.
Yeah.
And actually we started thinking differently. We can actually say the way we are bringing up our kids, it's altogether different.
It is very different.
Yeah.
It is, but it works. It's like a perfect mix.
Yeah, it does. In fact, among all the three, I won't tell you who has autism, who hasn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's really perfect. So, yeah, so after the acceptance, after the reading, I found myself reading, and I just don't know how I ended up signing up for a psychology course.
So the journey, Jaden's journey, supporting him, it actually changed you.
Changed me completely, career-wise. Remember, I was in hotels.
Yeah.
Like hotels and psychology, where
Upside down.
they don't even meet.
Yeah.
So all my young childhood, my young adult life, I've been in hotels, I did travel and tourism, so that has always been me. But then I have this child who even changes my career. So guys, remember I was reading for curiosity. Then COVID came, I started reading intensely because the support wasn't there anymore. They were all back in hospitals, so they couldn't see us, and COVID wasn't there for 2-3 days. They didn't see us the whole time. A whole year went by with no one ever talking to me, telling me anything. So I started reading intensely, and I just didn't get into reading about psychology and all that stuff like that. I first read about the brain because I wanted to understand why we all have brains, but they're all different.
Yeah.
Why? So that's how I got into it. And I just don't know. Let me say I don't know how.
Yeah, and I think
doing psychology. Yeah.
I think, from where we come from, we all say that a child comes with his own plate.
Yeah.
And sometimes what is in that plate, it's the changes that the parent goes through.
Exactly.
And you see, for you, the definition of your career you have taken, it is actually defined by Jaden.
It is.
And
it's very personal to
as a psychologist, I would say you are doing a perfect job.
Yeah.
And the job you are doing in the family setup, I actually think it can be replicated outside there.
Yeah, it can definitely. So, but first I was focusing on here. He was the main mission. And let me say, he kind of made me who I am now, career-wise as well. Because you remember I used to tell you, I'll be his personal psychologist, and there were people who were telling me, you can treat your own child. I was like, watch me.
Yeah.
Watch me. So then it was very difficult because I couldn't see him. But then from the knowledge I had gained, I knew we were in the right path. Jaden was just different. Yeah. And also in the UK, with the strain in the NHS.
Yeah.
That's why I took it very personally for me to go study and just understand everything from the professional point of view. So this moved from reading out of curiosity to professional.
Yeah, and I actually
Change of
think it
career.
has worked for you.
Yeah.
You know, from September 2021,
Yeah.
I can say the project Finding Jaden, it actually started to bear fruits.
Yeah, I did.
Because the boy who could not have the awareness of his environment,
Yeah.
he actually started having that awareness. And
Yeah.
for me, the first thing that he actually did was the understanding his emotions.
Yeah.
Like, why do I get angry? Why am I happy?
Yeah.
Why am I sad?
Yeah.
What do I need? And then he did something very interesting. He started developing logic.
Yeah.
You know, one day he actually came and I was just playing around with the numbers. And the boy started organizing, like, you know, the additions.
Yeah.
1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 2
Yeah.
equals 4, 4 plus 4 equals to 8. And I was like, hey boy,
What
is
are
it
you
a
doing?
joke? Or you are actually into this thing? And I called mommy and you know, do you see what the boy has done? And
Yeah, it's
so it was not easy to really understand that. So I went out and bought a whiteboard
Yeah.
and white mark pens. And, you know, I was like, Jaden, show us the numbers.
Yeah.
And he went and he wrote the whole board with additions, completing them.
I know. I think we like we were too focused on helping and saving Jaden. We didn't realize when he was coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every time I will think he needs help with this, help with that. I remember the first time he read
Yeah.
when we went to Justin's.
Yeah.
This boy, guys, we were just there for Justin's parents' meeting. He took a piece of paper, he started reading, and you were like, "What? You can read?"
Yeah, he did.
That's so
He did amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think your support, me as mom, I think we've done amazing. And
Yeah.
the one thing which I like with us is the fact that we said we will never hide our child. You
No,
know?
never.
That's the thing. And let me tell you guys, yeah, I took this child to stores.
Yeah.
I took him to birthday parties. I took him to cookouts. And every time anyone invited me for a cookout, I was like, I'm coming with my boy.
Yeah. You know, I remember when we were going to those parties and, you know, Jaden is not talking much, but he is playing with the other kids.
Yeah.
And I used to think like the other parents, they really have a lot of questions, but they don't want to ask them.
They did.
But the boy was outside there and playing and not bothered with anything.
Yeah.
And I loved his courage.
He was very courageous, but then this is the thing, you know, I was like, we can't hide this child. Like, there's a big world out there,
Yeah.
and he needs to see the real world. And the real world out there is cruel, and he needs to face all that, everything.
And you know,
the world has
you are
to
actually
offer.
right, because
Yeah.
the real world actually starts from home.
Exactly.
So I remember when we were moving to the acceptance, everything was all about Jaden.
It was.
He wants this, we get it.
Yeah.
You know, there was no for him.
Yeah.
But then we started, you know, the world you live in, it has a couple of no's, then yes, a lot of no's, then yes.
Yeah.
And he had to get that from home.
Yeah.
So I think the exposure that we gave him,
Yeah.
it has shaped him with the boy we are singing today.
It really
You know?
has. It really has. And I remember when we both decided, you know, he'll experience his first disappointment with us, everything with us. So, but it's been amazing from the denial
Yeah.
point of view, from, you know, it hasn't been an easy journey, I'm not going to lie. But then all the effort, change of careers, change of everything, change of
Yeah.
mindset as well, you know. I think it's been amazing, and it has really changed me as a person.
Yeah, been amazing. You know, so parents, relatives, and other people interested in supporting children with autism,
Yeah.
acceptance at the parental level is very difficult. It is never an easy journey. But then again, as a parent, you can never stay in that mood. You need to change very fast,
Yeah.
and you have to accept. The sooner you accept, the quicker you can get your child's help.
Yeah, this is the thing, you know. But I just hope you parents out there are getting, you know, the support you
Yeah.
need as well to get through all that denial. But you will get there. You will get there. One step at a time. There is no rush. Doesn't matter when.
And I'm actually happy for the parents who are like, you know what, I have watched your video,
Yeah.
and you know what, my child actually has this and this diagnosis. And I actually love it when parents speak out.
I
because,
do as well, yeah.
you know,
I've had a parent also tell me, when she watched my video, it's when she realized she's in denial mode as well,
Yeah.
because she has been moving her child from literally every year from school to school to school. And she was like, Kate, let me tell you, you have like opened my eyes and I can see what is going on here. It's not the schools.
yeah. There is actually a parent who messaged us, and she would like us to meet.
Yeah.
And probably because she is also based in Kenya, and before we return, we can meet and try to understand the experience and how we can share notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharing is good, it helps you get through so much when we are dealing with these kids.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
guys, it's Kate and MJ again. I'll say thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
Remember to subscribe, share, and leave your comments below, questions, anything. We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
I think that's it for today from us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.